everyone, and welcome to the afternoon panel. What is the topic here? Because I got put on the spot to do this. We're talking to our new alum. Let me introduce you myself. I'm a recent alum. No, not really. Class of 1983, when Delaware State was still a college. And I am here as part of the Delaware State University Alumni Association representing today. And we have some great panelists who's going to talk about not only how Del State prepared them once they walked across, but how they want to give back. So I'm going to begin with Kevin here on the end. Please, gentlemen, introduce yourselves, the class that you graduated from, and then your major. And then once we get through everyone, then we will come back and then I'll ask you some questions about your time here on the yard.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Good afternoon, my name is Kevin Perry, class of 2018 graduate, majored in accounting, and I returned in 2019 and earned my MBA with a concentration in business analytics in 2019. Currently, I work as a management consultant with PricewaterhouseCoopers in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, so as for myself, my name is Jason Nunley, class of 2020, majored in accounting. I had a minor in business econ. That was probably one of the best things I did while I was here. And then now I'm pursuing my PhD. I'm in my third year at Morgan State University. So I have just about one more year left, then no more Jason, just Dr. Nunley from now on.
Whew. Doctor.
I can't top that, but good afternoon, everyone. My name is Usman Tijani, class of 2020, business management major with a concentration in marketing, current program manager at Capital One, and I am pursuing my MBA at Wilmington University in organizational leadership.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome, everyone, and congratulations, and again, welcome to today's session. Let's start with you, Usman. Class of 2022, you are the most recent graduate.
2020.
2020. Oh, so you and Jason, 2020. Okay, so we'll start with you anyway.
Okay.
When you walked on this yard,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different world.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that attracted you? I mean, in addition to going to class every day, were there groups and organizations and clubs that you felt like, hey, I need to be a part of that to help myself grow?
That's a phenomenal question. Yes. First of all, it was a college of business. I was an intern liaison for the internship coordinator office at first. That landed me one of my first early internships. Then I joined a student organization called the God Brothers, one of the best male non-fraternity orgs on campus, if not the best. From there, I became president of the org. It pretty much just gave me some skills that I felt like was needed to become what I wanted to be in the future. Then I became SGA president, which was phenomenal. And even though it was a COVID year too, I think our fall semester was pretty great. And then from there, joined Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, which was another phenomenal organization and brotherhood. So I dabbled in a lot of organizations. I could name a lot, but those were the main ones that I felt like kind of helped me as a young man going in this world.
And they became your family.
Yeah.
Once you leave home and you come on the yard, that was your family.
Yep.
Jason, same question. What organizations and clubs did you find yourself attracted to, involved in, to help you grow here on the yard?
That is a great question. When I first came to Del State, I didn't really understand what an HBCU was. I didn't have exposure to that during my high school tenure. And so once I arrived on Del State campus, and it was immediately for me, it was the culture, right? Like, cause I miss NSO, I miss all of these things, but it was welcome week. Like welcome week, we on the courts, right? We smiling. They had Chick-fil-A. I got flex. That's what kind of it flipped the switch for me. And then I had some older friends that were here. They were juniors and they were seniors, and they used to tell me all the things that they wish they would have done when they were freshmen. Like, they wish they would have connected with their teachers more, and they wish they would have gotten more involved with internships. I met Kevin my sophomore year, so he introduced me to a lot. Me and Uzi, we met freshman year as well. So I've put in a lot of time with these great brothers right here. But But for me, I joined an organization called Eminent. I was Mr. Eminent my sophomore year. And so from there, I just kind of just kept going with things, just trying things. Honestly, just trials and tribulations. Joined the greatest fraternity in the world in spring of 2018. Shout out to the good bros, real. But yeah, for me, it was just about exposure. It was getting to see young black men in suits, women as well, dressed up to that standard. That was something I wasn't exposed to at an early age. So when I came to Del State, I just embraced the culture.
I love that. And the bros. I married a bro and I made a bro. So.
Yes.
Wow. Kevin, Perry, Mr. Class of 2018. Tell us about, when you got on here in the yard and you kind of felt your way around and you started seeing different organizations and events and you said, hey, you know what, I want to be a part of that. Tell us about that experience.
Well, my experience was a little bit different. Originally, I got denied from Delaware State University. So when I transferred in spring 2015, my mission was a little bit different. I was more to myself. I wasn't as out partying too much because I think I partied too much in high school, and I felt the impact of that. However, my first semester here, I was a criminal justice major at first, and I went to a prison tour with the criminal justice club, and I asked the deputy how much money they made, and he told me, and I was like, what? 27,000. What? But he sparked me to say that you going to college made it worthwhile. And coming from humble beginnings, I wanted to leave a legacy. Granted, I wouldn't be nowhere close to where I am today without the support system of the College of Business at Delaware State University. Being a graduate, I had the honor to serve as Mr. Delaware State University. Jason was, a right-hand member to me in support. Uzi and everybody else. I felt like the university supported me. But to answer the question, I didn't really make my impact until my sophomore year is when I interned with KPMG. And I got my first internship as the first person to get their leadership program. It set me apart. Back then it was one out of 600 or something crazy out of the country who was nominated, and I had the opportunity. And that sparked the fuel to keep going, and the support system navigated me. So I would tell everyone is wherever you feel like you want to leave a mark, go push it. And leadership sometimes chooses you. And I mean chooses you, everybody in here is a leader in his own way. So being on the yard, seeing people before me, setting the bar, seeing other SGA, or just people in the College of Business, like Jason was saying, dressed up a certain way, they set the bar. And my job, I always tell everybody around me, is to exceed the bar. So my path was a little bit different. I didn't know about the HBCU experience. I didn't know what wearing a suit was. My first suit was a polyester suit. I didn't understand why don't cut your tags off. There's so many things that I didn't realize till now, but I'm fortunate when I started getting a taste and started becoming the president of the accounting club, playing sports. I ran track and played football, other org, and I just wanted to leave an impact to make people around me better. So yeah, that was my way of getting exposed to leadership. Okay.
And to piggyback on that, there was always going to be a professor here, or an advisor, or a teacher, and that influenced you. He or she said something and made you stop and go, whoa, I can do better, or I can be better, or I am better. Jason, tell us about that, that light bulb. My goodness, whoa, I just came from this and now I've got this.
Yeah, so my experience was, it was very blunt, right? I always took my academic career very seriously. So my first semester here, I got a 4.0, right? I didn't know what I was doing.
I think we need to on that.
Yeah, I was just doing the work, right? That was fun to me, right? I used to stay up late night, do the work. I love the grind. I love opening my laptop and seeing all my assignments. Oh man, but it was my spring semester. Has anyone had Dr. Awazi, the daughter? Yeah. So one day I used to be in Dr. A's class, and I used to talk a lot, right? So one day I was walking outside the classroom. She was like, "Jason, come here." And so I went over to her and she was like, you know, you're a great student, you know, you have all the potential in the world, but you're wasting it. Once she said that, I ran downstairs like, yo, y'all got some internships? So mine was a little bit more very blunt. Dr. A, she was straightforward. She literally told me like, you're wasting your talent. You know, if you don't want to excel and go beyond, then you know just stop what you're doing. But if you do, then you know you have everything, or you have all the resources at your hand. Just go get them. So that was exactly what I did, and ever since then, you know, I followed up with Kevin with the leadership conference in Hollywood, California. Shout out to KPMG. That was lovely. And then I had an internship with KPMG in Tyson's Corner. Tyson's Corner in DC at the same time. The year after that, Ernst & Young, and then I always was doing work with the University Center of Economic Development and International Trade. So that's a very long acronym. Shout out to Dr. Casson. But he used to walk into the room like, who said it? And everybody used to be in there like, you said it. But yeah, that was cool, and that kind of just exposed me to a lot, and that's where I ended up pursuing my PhD. So that's where I'm at right now. But it really started from Dr. A just saying like, you wasting your potential.
That's great. That is great. Thank you for that. Usman, who is that? Who was that person?
Man, you know, funny story. It wasn't even a professor. October 13th of my freshman year, I found out I was having a son, right?
Wow.
So I was all over the place, mom racing. I literally just spent all my money to get to college. I'm like, golly, another one. So first thing I did, I went to the counselor, and he sat down with me. He's like, yo, like, what's going on? I said, yo, I'm about to have a son. He said, oh man. And the first thing he said, well, yo, you gotta put on your big boy pants now. Like Jason too, like I was always like, school was like the easiest part. Like I love work. Not a 4.0, but I had a 3.87 my freshman year. And that's like post figuring out I'm about to have a kid. So it was one of those things, once he said that, like it kind of was like, all right, dang, I really do got to put on my big boy pants. So every single day, it's like I don't waste no time, no hours. I'm getting dressed up. I wore the same suit and white button up my whole freshman year.
Yeah.
Like I swear, it was one of those things where it's like, you know, you're in college, you know, funds may be low, and the one thing you got, you know, you're gonna treat it with some love. So I used the same suit, and everywhere I went to, literally every single event possible that I could go to. And then one day, I was in the internship office downstairs, and dang, I forgot her name. That left.
Miss Watkins.
Yes, there we go, Miss Watkins. Shout out to Miss Watkins, cause she was like, you always in here a lot. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get to it. Like, she was like, okay, like come work for me. And then from there, like I was pretty much helping her contact companies to come out to do like internship events, and then that led me to like the career services, and from there went to like this HBCU day at JP Morgan my sophomore year, and then ever since then it like catapulted. From there they offered me an internship, then they offered me a job. So senior year, you know, I had my job secured after my sophomore year.
Wow.
So I'm 2 years still going to school, and I had like 70,000 waiting on me. Senior year, I'm like, whew.
That was awesome.
I'm like, yo, this is it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
huh?
Take that borrowed dollar.
70,000 ain't what it is no more.
No.
But and then after that, just knowing that I had to put on and just, you know, step it up a notch. I opened up a couple businesses. So I had my clothing brand called Slum Apparel on campus. I had like, so it was like not only just the support, like I just see people wearing my stuff while I'm going to the yards, the Ville, the courts. I'm like, dang, that's my design right there. So it was super dope. Then I opened up an event rental company. So the 360 booth downstairs, that's mine. And then with my CFO right here, so we just launched a tech startup, revitalizing the Black Wall Street through digital collectibles. So we've been rolling with that for like the past 4 months. Got partners in 3 different states. So just to double back on your question, it was the counselor.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I'm not sure if he still works here, but once I set that appointment up, ever since then, it's been up.
Awesome, that's a great story. And Kevin, I wanted to, ask you the same question because, as Jason said, there was that one time, it didn't have to be a professor, it didn't have to be an instructor, it could have been a counselor, it could have been a nerd, it could have been, some alumni like me walking across the yard saying, yo, bro, what's up? So who was that for you when you were here at Del State?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a competitor, right? And it really wasn't first faculty or staff, it would be the students. Like, I don't know if you see the cameraman right here, but this is Mike.
Okay.
Mike and Kyron, Jamal, a bunch of people. Like, when I came in, they was already dressing up, right? They was already dressing up. And for me, like I told you guys, I come from humble beginnings, 1.9 GPA. Like, I was homeless, so when I got to college, I wanted to compete to prove to myself that I belong and do more. So it wasn't just, I would say it was the university as a whole. Faculty, the custodial, advisors, professors, I swear to God, to this day, they all still remember me and talk to me, but it's the gems they gave me and the encouragement that set me apart. So for me personally, I wouldn't say it was one professor because even how hard the accounting department is, Dr. Muzaver and their staff, Dean Casson, when he was teaching my economics my freshman year, all of it took little by little and built me who I am today. And I say that because as you are embarking your career at Delaware State University, have that hunger and drive to push yourself. And it's not a competition in like a jealousy way, but it's competition in iron sharpens iron. Like all 3 of us compete, okay? We all compete. We all doing well in our fields, but it's all love for each other. We have deep intellectual conversations. So for me, y'all, it was the university that's showing me that, look, they gave me a second chance in life. Out of 1.9, I'm here. I'm gonna do a disservice to my family and my peers if I drop the ball. So, like Jason, I came in hot, had my first 4.0, and had it for like 2-3 years, and then it went down. I graduated with a 3.76, but it's the people around you. So Delaware State University, I promise you all, you probably don't feel it or see it, but your peers can be that spark too. Peers can be a part too, and a lot of people don't give their flowers out, but I'm an honest person. They know I'm pretty blunt, right? Like, I'm pretty blunt. People know that about me, and I'm grateful, forever grateful for people like the Mikes and Kyrons, because when I came in, they was already ahead of the game. So I appreciate them for sparking, because now that's what it's about, passing the baton. Jason getting his PhD, I'm proud because that's what it's about. I got my MBA, Uzi doing his business, he has the photo booth, and that's what it's about, y'all. So I would say what helped me, what sparked me, was the university, people around me. So bringing the good people is what motivated me. Then when I met Jason, I'm like, damn, I got a brother that I gotta lead by example. So, and he challenged me, and him and I in the library at midnight. We in the room, we studying like, and I'm like, man, Jason, like, yeah, I'm going to Hollywood. We had a bunch of kids from the East Coast trying to make it. So it's a true testament that your brand and the environment you in is really Dream School University. So do not let the College of Business, right? Do not come here and don't get the full experience, because we are all testaments to what walking through these shoes, sitting in the same classroom we've done for. So
Kevin, Jason, Uzi, I mean, you guys are sitting here talking as if this is new, but it's not, and that's what I love about Delaware State University. Again, I told you I graduated in 1983. Delaware State College saved me. I was Kevin.
Yeah.
I was a female Kevin. If I didn't come to Del State, if I didn't come on this yard, who knows? I probably would have had a bunch of kids, married and divorced, maybe on the streets, cracked out, whatever.
Right.
But it was the family. Yeah, it's
That's
the
family.
professors. They care. They care. The counselors care.
Yeah.
The custodian people
They
care.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody cares. Your brothers care. Your sisters care. And if you're coming from an environment, I grew up in the projects in New York.
Exactly.
I didn't know college. What? No, I didn't know anything. But Kevin, He's our Sergeant of Arms,
Yeah,
Delaware
hey,
State
hey,
University
yeah, routine.
Association. I'm the recording secretary. This is a give back. We
Yeah,
are
we
giving
giving back our
back
time, so.
to you, to the university that saved us. So
Yeah.
I'm proud of you guys.
I do want to say too, before you, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I do want to say, we appreciate you all for coming out and supporting this.
I did, yes,
Right,
yes,
you know,
yes.
And like, yeah, we here, but we take pride. We talk about all the time how we can see you all do better.
Right.
So, you know, next question, I'd like to get back to moderator.
No, you go ahead.
No,
No, you go
I want to know how many of you all are first generation college graduates? How many of you are first time in college and family? Anybody first grads? First gen? Okay.
Okay.
How many sophomores in here?
Okay,
How many
Good,
freshmen?
good numbers, so.
Any seniors?
good.
Two seniors, right? So I'm doing this because we have a.
Junior.
Oh, junior, there we go. Yeah, I'm making sure that it was a vote. I was testing y'all. But we're doing that because y'all, I promise you, if we had this conversation earlier, we'd probably been 10 times ahead.
Yeah.
I guarantee, we seen 3 young professionals come in and tell us what you can be and achieve. That's deep. Because we are testaments in all walks of life. We're not perfect. We struggle in classes, we stressed out, you know, Uzi as a child, but we all family. So I just want to take a moment and get back to the moderator that, you know, we appreciate you all, but y'all need to really hone in and turn the knob up in your life. So go ahead.
No, but Kevin, continue because that's the next question.
Oh,
Then I'm
okay.
gonna go to Jason and
Okay,
Uzi.
go ahead.
What can you, why is it important for the give back? Like you're here, you're your first time college, you know, in the family, you know, you're a freshman, you just left home, like everything was cool, you was at home, you was eating mom's cooking, right? She was making up your bed and washing your clothes, you know, you didn't have to do any of that, right?
Right.
Now you're here, you're in the real world, which is a different world.
Got you.
Give back.
Very,
Give back. Just because you're here by yourself, don't forget.
You're not
This is your
alone.
fam. All of you are fam.
we are family, yeah.
And you know, that's the great thing about being on the Dell State campus. I've only went to one HBCU, so I don't know what it's like on other yards. But this is your family. So the important thing is to give back. So Kevin, again, continue that conversation about the give back. Dell State saved you. Now you want to help them save others, and why is important not only to go to class, but connect. Connect with your family. You guys are all fam. So talk to that, and then we'll go to Jason and Uzi next.
Well, first and foremost, congratulate you all for surviving 2 tough years through the pandemic, right? And part of giving back is being an inspiration for the next generation of leaders. And Dean Cassidy will tell you in his economics class, he always says, Perry, make sure you find somebody you pay it forward. At the end of the day, it's about your legacy. And I said earlier, leave your legacy, right? Either it's to your family, your peers, whoever it is, leave a legacy. And giving back, that's your legacy. When I met Jason and I saw him as a sophomore and I saw his ambition, his hunger, it was my duty as a Hornet to bring somebody else up. Because at the end of the day, what you doing it for? You ain't doing it for yourself, but you want to, it's so much more rewarding to take time out your day to help somebody else out. Because I promise you, you're not going at it alone. A lot of us think our struggles is by ourselves, but I guarantee you somebody's walking in the same shoes. Giving back is how, you know, the university thrives. And we're not even talking about financially. Your time and support. When you all are interning companies, representing there and coming back and inspiring the next group of interns. Giving back is what changed my life. And if it wasn't for the faculty, staff, and the other students, I probably wouldn't be here. Because they accepted me. I told you, I'm a kid that came from being homeless. I'm a kid that always dressed up. I seen me in Cass, like, he got clean suits. I was like, and now I got my own suit company. I do my own suits. It's a true testament, y'all, I promise you. Giving back doesn't have to mean you on the phone 24/7 with somebody, but taking somebody and saying that we in this together and I believe you. Giving back is what life's about. Sometimes we get so and so consumed with our own self, we don't realize somebody else is looking at you for motivation as well. So don't forget about the importance of giving back, like your time, your energy, you know, your storytelling, your struggles, right? Like I told you, I had a polyester suit. I ain't know nothing about dressing up, but having mentors and people saying, you know what, I believe in you. Do this, or can I schedule 15 minutes, to learn about your career? That goes a long way. So you all can start giving back now. hold each other accountable. Giving back is like, you know what, I'm in the same class about you. I know I'm doing well, let me push you too. Because remember, you are not representing yourself, you represent Delaware State University. When I won that national award on TBS, I won an award last year, $30,000. Where I was on TV, I met Lance Gross and everybody.
Oh my God.
And when I met the executive of TBS, they said, Kevin, your story was inspiring. And now we're able to use you to give back to others. Because if you can do it, other people can too. But we don't know what you're going through if you're quiet. And your story doesn't have to be rough. You don't have to come to hard times. But your story from being a college student and graduating is a story in itself, right? You know, so that's what I would say. The importance of giving back is take pride in it, understanding that you are somebody's hero, and heroes don't gotta wear capes. So remember that, like you are inspiring your families, right? Your peers. Somebody is proud of you that you're right. You sit in this classroom getting free gems from people who walked your journey. So.
Great, Kevin, thank you. Jason, you know, tell us.
Yeah, I could follow up with that. When I was younger, my mom, single parent, right? My dad was doing 20 years. He out now, he doing good. He got a CDL license. He's still in the class. But my mom, she was taking care of me and my brother, and then I had a little sister from my dad's side. She was taking care of her too. And at the same time, like, you know, things was hard on her financially, but she would always find a way to give back. Like, it used to be this lady down the street, she was just moving in, but she didn't really have the finances, but my mom didn't either. So my mom had gave her our couch. Like, we sitting on the floor. She gave her our couch, like, literally. And I used to ask her too, like, why you doing all this? And she used to be like, you know, because you never really understand what somebody else is going through, right? Like, you know, you might have the greatest day, and to somebody else, that might be an extremely grateful day, right? Like, sometimes we always focus on the negative, but it's 24 hours in a day. Like, 1 hour is not really going to determine a super bad day, right? Like, somebody got it way worse. So when I just kind of always stuck with that. And then once I got to college, it was little gems. It's not always about finances or, you know, somebody giving you shoes, or it's literally words. Like, words is what got me through a lot. Literally, me and Kevin used to sit in a room. Sometimes, like, it used to get to this, like, Kevin would start talking, and then I start talking, we start talking too fast. I'm like, yo, Kev, you gotta stutter on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah.
I take Tuesdays and
Yeah.
Thursdays. We used to literally be in a room, like, just going so fast, just thinking, but it was just little things like that, like just bouncing off of somebody else's brain. You never know, like, Dr. Casson always used to say, you never know who that person is gonna be to blow, right? So you always gotta treat people with respect. Like, that's the little things right there that literally pushes somebody forward. And then, of course, once I joined Omega Sci-Fi, community service it was different, man. You get you know, with that brotherhood, you see these kids run up and, you know, they throwing up the hooks and they got their tongues out, and it's just that feeling right there is extremely different. So something I started last year is an annual shoe drive. Last year we gave out over 300 pairs of shoes, 150 coats, and we also gave out meals too, but they was a little canned food. So, you know, nobody was cooking during that time. It was around COVID. But it's literally just seeing somebody else smile. Like, that's good enough for me. Like, if I can make somebody else smile, I'm smiling. Everybody's smiling. I got big teeth. You know, I'm trying to show them. So that was enough for me.
I love that. I love that, Jason.
Go ahead,
Uzi.
Yeah, I be trying to tell Jason sometimes, me and him, like some twins out of another world. Similar to him, my mom, my dad had immigration issues for a while, so he couldn't work. And my mom used to work like 3 jobs and take care of me and my brother and my sister. And every day she would come home, she'd be like reading this book. And when I was younger, I thought, you know, she's just reading. So I asked her one day, I'm like, why you come home, you always reading? Oh, I'm trying to become a nurse. I'm like, so you working 3 jobs, taking care of 3 kids, and you trying to go to school? I was like, dang, I don't got no excuse. So from there, I just noticed how much she always tried to maximize her potential so she can help others do the same. And that's what I started living by. I'm like, if I can continue to try to be the better me every single day, I can help somebody do the same. Because if I stay stagnant, then some kid that might have been looking up to me is gonna stay stagnant, and so forth. So once I got to school, I was just looking at different ways that I can be involved, and the leadership opportunities were pretty key to me, because then I could pretty much have a group of individuals that I can help, like firsthand. And then after that, like giving back was just like a big thing to me too. Like I said, I have a couple businesses. So for my 24th birthday, for my clothing brand, I had whoever bought clothes, I said, you can either send the clothes to somebody in need, or we'll use the funds from it to actually go purchase them some clothes. So I did that this last August. We raised like $2,000. Like, and it was one of those things where it was like, I don't really care. I don't really be caring about money no more, because when we look at money, a lot of times we think it's like a #1 priority.
Right.
But then me and Jason were looking at this one video, and the guy was like, if I gave you $1 million, but you had to die tomorrow, would you take it? So that means time and life is more of a priority than money. So I was like, damn, okay. So from there, every day is just like, how can I give back? How can I give back? And Dean Castle will tell you, we work a lot. So it's like, it was one of those things where he was the macroeconomics professor, and I'm like, yo, this guy's pretty cool. Every single day I used to come in here, that was one of the best classes I ever used to come into, because we always used to talk about real life issues and just how to be successful. After class, he'll start rapping to us about what he had going on. I'm just like, yeah, I want to be like him. I want to be like him. So this being able to hang around individuals like that just made me realize like I can do the same for y'all. So that's why like I always come to campus whenever they need me. At my job, I'm always at my job looking at different ways to help out Delaware State, because I know how much Delaware State helped me. You know, Kev at PwC, anytime there's a recruiting event or something at Delaware State, we probably the first hand people here. And the reason why is because we want to put more of us in those type of companies, because we know we're capable of doing it. So all in all, my last statement: maximize your potential, and that you can't do that. You can't be perfect, right? So it's a lifelong run battle of trying to become a better you. Yeah. And then once you do that, you help others do the same, because they're looking up to you. Yeah.
I love that, and I'm going to give you guys an opportunity. We're not going to go like to the end without you guys asking questions, but I'm going to ask this last question because you pulled out some pieces. Okay, pandemic, COVID-19. This was unique for all of us. You're excited, you're leaving home, you're coming on the yard, and you get locked down. There's no human interaction. That has to be very, very difficult. We're walking around with cell phones and tablets and laptops. Hey, I'm a social media diva. I do that all day, every day. But I need human interaction, right?
Right.
I need to touch somebody. I need to sit down and talk to somebody. It's not those Facebook posts, Instagram, that's highlight reel. That's not the real world. How do you tell our future? Because these are ones gonna be signing your Social Security checks. See, I get mine next year, so it don't matter, right?
I don't think Social Security gonna be there by the time.
It will. Don't worry. Don't let that fool you.
These students gonna be entrepreneurs, business. Website.
So tell them
Yes.
why it's important to connect on an H to H level, human to human. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
You know, you have your business, you're really a doctor, you have your business, and we're always posting on social media all day, every day, right?
Yeah.
That's not real. Why is it important for them to just say, put it down? Mike, put it down. Connect not only with their fellow friends, but their family.
I would say it's significant, being that they always say, like, you know, the whole network thing, but just being a moral individual, I think is key. You always want to figure out who somebody really is, because you never really know what the true intentions are. Like, social media, and me and Jason, and even Kev, we talk about, it's a super facade. Like, and y'all know this by now, you know, everybody may post something that's not really the life that they're living, so.
Everybody's rich on social media.
Yeah, everybody's rich, right? And there's no way we're rich when we're in a recession. Make it make sense. But on another end, but it's just like one of those things where you want to be able to build genuine bonds because they are lifelong. Seeing somebody on Instagram or just saying hi to somebody one time and never speaking to them again, like Dean Cass said, you never know who's going to blow up. And that's not even in the sense of trying to leech on someone, but it's one of those things where you want to just stay connected and in the loop on things. Take advantage of every opportunity, because you never want to miss out. Missing out on something is major. We were just talking about the garage downstairs, and we were like, you know, if we were here 4 years ago when it was here, man, like, who would have known what we did down there? Like, it's a supreme hub to really build the next millionaire. And resources like that, you know, just staying in touch with Dean Casson, it's just like, yeah, you know, whenever y'all ready, go down there and cook up the next $1 billion plan, one of those things. And just being able to give back is also a good way to stay connected as well. You know, a lot of people I have one of my friends who is like in a tricky situation, and for me, thankful that I was able to, you know, maximize my ability in a sense. You know, I got him working for one of my businesses now, and you know, it's not a consistent paycheck, but it's way more than he would be getting than just sitting around, right? And all we do, yo, do you want to go to the gym real quick? Just staying connected like that. It doesn't have to be, you know, getting on the phone every day. Me and Kev talk once bi-monthly. Yeah, but when we talk, we locked in. Like, we talking for a good 30, 45 minute quick catch up. What you got going on? What I got going on? What's up next? Like, stay motivated. When me and Jason call each other and I start complaining, he be like, yo, tighten up. Like, tighten up. And then he called me like, yo, da-da-da-da, yo, tighten up. So it's one of those things where it's like, once you get your core group of individuals, you know, you're not gonna be cool with the whole world. But once you get your core group, make sure you maintain those relationships. Because when you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, if you don't want them to leave you, you're gonna maintain that relationship. You're gonna talk to them, check up on them, see how their mental is, seeing what you can do to help them get better, and vice versa. So just keep the genuine bonds, because you never know where they may lead in the future.
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
Jason?
I can follow suit. Like I said earlier, me and Kev, we was stuttering, right? Like, Kev throwing ideas, I'm throwing ideas, but by doing that, we literally was so much sharper, like, so much sharper. You can't do that on Instagram. Like, you go to my Instagram, I was in Hawaii this morning, right?
Like, literally, he was in Hawaii.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Seriously?
nah.
The facade though.
Nah.
You believed it for a minute, right?
I was in Hawaii last month though, but I'm just
Posted
saying,
today.
yeah. So I'm just saying that having that human interaction, like literally just go into a room and just lock in. Look, this is what we trying to accomplish. This is what we gonna do. Okay, what's on your mind today? Like you know, and during our undergrad, we used to have like, brother, you're on my mind. So we used to have these conversations like, yo, what are you going through? And by literally somebody breaking that down and being vulnerable, like that bond is so much stronger. Like so much stronger. I could call Uzi and be crying on the phone. Uzi be like, man, tighten up. And I'd be like, he right. Like, and it's just little things like that that keep you going. Like, you need that human interaction, because social media is not gonna do it. It's a lot of times where, and you know, everybody in here is an adult, but my mom taught me when I was younger, like, you better speak when you see people. Like, if you don't speak, that's disrespectful. And I see some of these younger individuals now, and they'll walk right past your phone. That's you being lost. You lost. It's so much going on outside of Instagram, these TikToks. You got if you just walk past somebody and look at them and they doing this in front of the camera, that looks crazy. Like, that looks crazy. But you know, that's just my take on it. I can't really get with it, but it's little things like that where it's like that human interaction is so much deeper than people kind of expect. Like during COVID, you know, I'm gonna be fully transparent. Once COVID came around, I had the Pooh Shiesty mask on too. I had anxiety when it came to social interactions because we were separated for so long. It's kind of like, all right, FaceTime, I checked in, we good. And then when you see them in person, your hand's shaking when you want to shake their hand. Like, nah, no, like, let's get back into being a family because, it can kind of deviate from that with social media. You get into these points where somebody might post something and if the shoe fit, wear it, but they're not even talking about you. Now you feel some type of way. Like, no, like, let's open our mouths, let's have conversations, let's sit down, let's be adults. Let's connect. Let's get past this point of just this social media phase. You can use social media to your benefit, but also work on your characteristics when you're in person because that's very important. When your job tells you, oh, you're gonna be hybrid, and then you got to go into the office for a day. When you get into the office for a day, your lips turn white because you're nervous. You go into the bathroom and you sweating. Like, it's okay to go through those phases, but try to work yourself back into this environment of talking to people because, the next person or the person that you meet or the person that you may meet today may propel you for the next 5 years or propel you for the next 10 or that might be your best friend for the next 20, right? Like, it's all about that human interaction. That's very important. And then for me, being honestly, when I came to Del State, that was the best thing for me. I wasn't even really on social media like that during undergrad. It was more so about I could just walk to the Ville or I could walk to the caf and we all sitting down. We breaking bread and then you got an internship? Okay, I'm on your heels. I'm about to get an internship that paid more than you. Right? That's what it was about. You can't do that on social media because you don't know who really got an internship.
Exactly.
You don't know who really got money. You don't really know who in debt. So so it's just about being honest, man, making friends and understanding that the person to the left of you or the person to the right of you is going to propel you for the next 10 to 15 years, or y'all gonna have a real strong relationship, or they might be what's it called, groomsmen? It might be, it might be, or your bridesmaid. So or it might be a husband and wife. I advise you to try to meet them in the library rather than the party. But
I know, right? Yeah.
I'm just saying, going down in the DMs is not where where you want your love life to start.
Now, I'm gonna keep it concise, but I'm gonna give it to you from a real life experience. I'm in the consulting experience. I'm in the consulting industry, and human interaction is everything. Relationships is the foundation of life, and not because of, like you said, the job opportunities. It's the mental state and being able to understand what's coming on the pipeline. So I'm keeping it real concise. Relationships is the foundation of everything. Because I may be on social media, right, which is good, useful to grow your business, but it's not like a conversation. I met with a professor today, Dr. Tijani, and his wife is an executive for a client of ours that sells his work. I would have known that if I have a conversation, right? So conversations allow you to have more dialogue to spark ideas and other aspects of life. So keep that in mind, right? Like, it don't always have to be a 30-minute conversation for how you doing or, how you feeling, and that is what gets you to the top. Relationships. I don't care how technical sound you are, relationships. And people say it's about how, who blow up first. It's really about the strength together. Because if I have one stick, he got a stick, we put it together, we can build something, right? So keep that in mind. So I'll keep it concise. Relationships is the foundation to a lot of things, right? And most of the time you're gonna learn when you meet these executives downstairs. They work with people that they're close with and trust. They know their families, they know the client, and things of that sort. So, I've been very fortunate to grow and learn, but remember that, keep that in mind, man. Relationships is the key to almost everything in life.
Thank you so very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Amazing knowledge. you're gonna be on social media, go to LinkedIn.
Any
Remember that.
questions?
Yeah, so questions.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I have a question for you as well, and also a statement afterwards. But so you were talking about maximizing your potential. So what was the biggest obstacle or aha moment you've had to overcome during your journey of maximizing yourself?
Great question.
This is
I would say it would be not taking the time out to acknowledge my accomplishments along the way. I move really fast. Jason called me and be like, "Yo, did you just realize you just did that?" And I'm like, "Oh snap, you're right, I did." And that self-realization helps me break that mold. It's like, all right, now I can do more. When we built our tech startup, I learned how to code in 6 months. I knew nothing about coding during prior to COVID, and at the start of the pandemic, I came back from Miami, and they was like, "Yo, you can't go back to campus." I said, "Dang!" So I went back home. I grew my hair out, beard out. Then I shaved everything. But I was just doing anything. Like it was just crazy. So I was just trying to find something to do. And after a while, just doing some studying and stuff, I tapped into the tech space and started learning how to code from January till we launched our startup. And like I was the CEO, the CTO, any coding lines like I was handling. But then like one day, Jason's like, "Yo, you just built the tech startup," and we was on Fox 5 DC News. Everybody texting me, they like, "Yo, you was on the news, da da da," and we was landing some partners, and I still didn't realize like the magnitude of it. And then Dean Casson, who was at the Welcome Back barbecue, he said, "Yo, I seen you on the news." I was like,
Good part of the news.
I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." So then I took a step back and I'm like, "Yo, you gotta understand, like, yo, you're accomplishing so much. Like, you are maximizing your ability because every day I'm doing something different." So taking the time out to realize that helped me continue to go after more, because after a while, you'll just be in a consistent zone where it's like, I'm just going. But then if you take a step back and be like, "Dang, I just did that," then it kind of elevates like that. But yeah, that'll be my answer.
Okay. And does anybody else have a say on that as well?
I think I don't know. You know, I will say, don't get discouraged, right? Like about maximizing your potential, you sometimes get discouraged because you don't know what's next, right? And you gotta break through barriers. Like for me, I work on a large engagement, handling a large account, and there's not many people that walk the same shoes as me, right? And sometimes you have to realize that too much to get much is required. So maximize your potential, you gotta believe in yourself. Understanding like it's new for a reason. Like you trying, it's like learn how to walk again. So one of my experiences was, I tell people all the time is when I got in corporate America, I went from audit to consultant. And the consultant world, from my experience, you're a lot more on your own. And I went from, I think I'm a very confident person. Like I told me, nothing worse than sleeping in the shelter. Like so, if I can sleep there, I can do anything. But certain obstacles come at you from the side, and I had to realize that sometimes it's okay to stumble, right? Because stumbling makes you grow better, right? Sometimes, certain reptiles, if you bite their tail off, it grow right back. So keep that same philosophy in life, that's gonna make you stronger. So, and me going through the obstacle of learning myself in corporate America has allowed me to be where I am today, and know that if I can get promoted and be on this fast track, I can do anything. So maximize my potential. Had to do a self-reflection of myself to say that, you know what, I am this, and I may not be where I want to be, but this is what's going to take to get there. And you gotta be candid and real with yourself. Like sometimes we're not real with ourselves, right? Sometimes we think we're better than we are, right? And sometimes we are entitled people. Like I got this, I'm doing this. You gotta earn your stripes, right? and then people gonna respect you for the journey you went through. So that's what I would say. Like, you know, going to corporate America, struggling my first year, telling them the truth. I'm very blunt and candid. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing, cause I don't want you all to come in, get caught off guard. Right? We proud of you. Your story is that, but use our story to fuel you and grow your potential. Right? Because sometimes a lot of us hold on to our struggles in our past that hold us back and maximize our full potential. So I would say that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Good.
I technically don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that as a woman, like, it feels good being led by men, because, you know, technically we grow up, women are more mature than men and stuff like that, but you guys show that, you know, there is like hope and there is like good men that, you know, can have their head on straight.
Let me be proud. I know. But you saying that, all I'm gonna say is, you gonna learn the environment you in, you're gonna attract the same people you're looking for.
Exactly.
And that's why I think I saw you today in the class. I spoke in the session. I'm telling her, you know, just how to use her reverse psychology to motivate her peers, right? And if you carry yourself a certain way, you're gonna attract certain people. Like, you young, like you said, your head on, you be bright, you're gonna see like there's other people like you. Sometimes we don't see it all the time, but you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna see it. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other questions?
You had a statement, right? You have one more statement?
Yes. Just like all of you are on each other's heels, I'm on y'all heels now. Especially you. And I'll tell you why. Because I want to be in the position y'all are sitting in right now.
That's what this for.
Get back.
Get back, yeah, that work. Stay connected, Instagram and everything. Like this call,
LinkedIn.
the
LinkedIn.
Say anything, but in the day,
When you was in Hawaii, I'm not following
At the end of the
you.
day, we want these last few minutes to be a candid conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not gonna sugarcoat nothing. We're gonna act. If you have any questions about our careers, anything, we want to be candid with you all, because that's gonna let you go farther in life. Not me telling you all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I can say, oh yeah, you make good money and you look good, but I'm not perfect, right? Like, we tell you, we hard on each other. Like, we hold each other accountable. We're tough. So find people like that. Female, males. I got females that hold me accountable as well. That goes a lot farther in life. So any more questions? No? Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, working in corporate America, I know that you're gonna have like a lot of expectations on you. So, when you're facing adversity, like in your life, how do you continue to bring your best self to work?
Good question.
That's a great question. I started to reflect, right, and I had to realize the environment, right? And I say this to say that every environment has certain expectations, right? And the way I'm dressed sometimes on a client call is not the same way I'm addressed on internal calls. But the challenge is not to lose yourself, right? Because sometimes, I would say from my experience as being a minority, we feel like we don't have to conform or we gotta speak a certain way, but it's not that. I had to remind myself, I'm trying to be the best professional. And how can I be the best professional to lead others? And what I do to reflect on myself, I said to myself, it's tough. Like, I told Jason, I was on a merger that was worth like almost $1 billion. It was a bunch of older white men from Texas. They were cutthroat, and I'm walking like, golly, like, this is what Texas is about for real, you know? And then you gotta meet the expectation, because sometimes most of the time they don't walk your journey, and they so far along. They 30-year executives, so they're not gonna understand what it is to grow. But what I do is I reflect to myself and say, you know what, Kev? What did you go through, and where you trying to go? And it's tough, right, y'all? Especially for black women. Like, I have a mentee right now. A client said something about her hair. He didn't mean to come off ignorant, but people don't know. There's no excuse. But understand what's your why and what you want to come. You said you about to be the president of the real estate forum, right? So when you come, you gotta make executive decisions, right? You gotta lead. And I had to tell myself, who gonna be that change if I leave or if I give up, right? And I'm gonna go to the deans and people say, how was your experience? He gonna say, Perry, this is what I go through, you know? But this is how I would navigate it. Or if they don't know, they push you somewhere else. So, but the main thing, how I get through it, is think about my why, right? Because he'll tell you, I talk fast, I'm like, golly, I got an accent, you know, like, you know, sometimes you see people that come from different walks of life, but I'm built to be here. So do not ever feel like any of you are a token, less than, can't do it, because it's gonna take you way farther in life, start your own business, meet other people. But I reflect to myself every day. It's tough though, trust me, it's tough. Knowing how, if you want a facial hair, you know, but learn your environment. Learn your environment. Some people come with earrings, right? In my environment, I haven't seen nobody with earrings, right? So I wouldn't do that, right? And you got a little flavor, nothing wrong, but know your environment. That's where people go wrong. And they think, you know, adapting doesn't mean talking slang. Like, it's not that. Like, we gotta break that stereotype. Adapting means being able to adjust in any situation. Be a chameleon, that's what I would say. Be a chameleon. So, that's how I reflect. Go to myself, y'all, ask my why, talk to my peers and say, look, I wanna be a CEO. I wanna be executive of a Fortune 500 corporation. I'm gonna have to hire people, fire people, and make tough decisions. I'm gonna have to lead people of all walks of life. So, that's a good question. Dang, that's good. She
Yeah,
came
that's
alive.
good.
Oh yeah, stay connected. What time is
It's
it?
fine. But they don't wanna leave, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna-
We
Wait,
got-
I have a question for you. What part of New York are you from?
New Rochelle and Mount Vernon.
Oh, wait.
But actually, I've been out of New York since the '80s, and just the accent never leaves.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm a podcast host, so if
Yeah,
you
she
hear my
beats.
show, you'll hear it. You'll hear it deep.
Any more questions? If not, oh.
So like how like when you was in college and stuff, like how did you like get through your high schools, like through life, like back home and all that kind of stuff? Like things that happen,
Yeah.
like friends die, all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like, how do you get through that?
Sometimes as individuals, especially when you're trying something new, we feel like we gotta be Superman. And we feel like we gotta put so much weight on our shoulders. I went through a lot of obstacles, right? From family situations, from sports, concussions, from struggling in class. I had to realize to myself what I want to become. And remember we talked about people going through adversity, meeting people? Like, don't be afraid of asking for help. Don't be afraid talking to any of the deans or any counselor or for anybody for guidance, right? It doesn't make you no less of a person. And for you, you gotta have that discipline. Because one thing I've learned about trauma, it's gonna happen some shape, form, and fashion in life. Some days are unpredictable. You all made it through a pandemic, and I congratulate you all. We saw a lot of people die, right? We didn't know the unknown. We didn't know we would return to office. But the advice I give you is, you know what, say that, you know, I don't have to solve everything. You know, don't put that on your weight, because if you feel like you gotta solve everything, it's gonna drag you down. So many people wanna be Superman, and that was me. I wanna save everybody. I wanna give it all. I feel bad, but if you don't save yourself, you can't save the next person. And I love this analogy on an airplane. If you ever got on a plane, have you flown before on a plane? Okay, don't worry about it. We can get you on a plane.
You'll be on a plane.
Get you on a plane. But they say this: put your mask on first before you say somebody else. And it resonated with me because if you don't take care of yourself, your mental, your spiritual, your physical well-being, no matter what's going on, the plane can be crashed, going down. Some of the worst times. But if you don't save yourself first, how can you help the next person? So use that same logic. And we here to help you. Stay connected with us.
Stay connected with these guys.
Trust me, we all go through some tough things, stress. But I promise you, when you persevere, the reward is worth it. The reward is worth it. And we proud of you all. We talk all the time. To see you all dressed up, coming to learn,
Oh, man. Yeah.
you are the next leaders. Like, we have to work together so you all can go further in life. So, and I'm proud of you all.
Losing people, Jason can tell you, I can tell you, I think I lost one close friend every year in college. My most recent one was my friend Tijani. Went to high school together, came to college together. We were playing games, everything. And he had like bad asthma. 1 week, he had went to the hospital. He had texted check, like, yo, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. Next week, his grandpa calls, like, yo, he dead. I was like, what? Like, and then like, mind you, I still got to take care of my son at the time. I still got to, I pretty much help out my whole household, right? I consider myself like the family hero sometimes, but like that's another story. But it was one of those things where it's like one of my closest friends just died, and life just keep moving, and it doesn't stop for me, right? But it'll only stop if I speak up. So I was at work, and we were working hybrid at the time, and I said, yo, I need to take some days off. Like, I can't do it. Like, my brain was racing. I'm like, it's just, like, life was just moving way too fast. But if I wouldn't have said anything, I probably would have crashed out. So the biggest thing is you have to understand, you got to pick and choose who you tell people things, but be okay with being vulnerable. Because I learned to realize, like, if I don't speak up, everybody gonna think I'm okay. Because I'm the person that helps out everybody. Like, I would always tell Jason, I'm like, yo, I just gave so and so some money. Like, yo, they ain't even paid me back yet. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, at first I don't really be looking for you to pay me back, but it's like, if you say you're going to, I'm gonna hold you to it. But I'm always out to help people. And once my friend had passed away, I learned to realize, like, yo, you had to start letting people know you're not okay. Like, cause if you just continue to go every day, oh, I'm okay, you might end up snapping on, you know how you get into a store or something, somebody's got a crazy attitude, like, they mom probably just got ran over, like, you don't know what's going on with their life. And I just learned to treat people with empathy. Like, you know, look with your heart first before your mouth, because you're gonna say some things that you may not mean, but if you look into your heart first, you'll say the right things. So be vulnerable. You know, when you're not okay, let people know you're not okay. Like, take your time out, professors, counselors, and it's okay to talk to people, especially as black men. We used to have an issue. I don't have this issue no more. Where, yo, I'm gonna put all the weight on my shoulders. Man, I'm tired of doing that. Yo, here. There you go. Like, here you go, Kev. Like, I was tired of doing that. Like, it was so unnecessary, because once I'm like, here, you're like, yo, bro, this is what you gotta do. Da, 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 da. Yo, Ooze, how you doing today? Yo, you good? I know so just happened. Like, that checkup right there, be like, damn, yo, somebody cares. Right. But if I don't tell him, and he just be like, yo, why you tripping? Man, like, he's gonna be like, well, you know, I'm just leave him alone. But if I be like, yo, friend just passed away, da 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 da. He's like, damn, bro, yo, my bad. Yo, let me know if you need anything, da 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 da. And then he'll check up again, and that's what is good about, you know, having a good support system, like Kev was saying. Like, yo, that's phenomenal. So if you're going through the same thing, bro, like, who you feel like is your confidant, or whoever you feel like is a person you can come and talk to, yo, take the vulnerability out and go rap with them.
Stay connected. That's what we want to tell you.
Yeah.
Do not go at it alone. And that's my motto in life, because I tell you one more time, the life skills I learned as a consultant is applicable across. Do not go it alone. You know, we appreciate you all so much for coming out today, asking us questions. Stay connected. A lot of people say that, but they don't stay connected. You know, but we're proud of you all, young men and young women, and you next up. That's it. You next up. So give it up for yourself, man. Clap it up for yourself.
So I want to thank Kevin and Jason and Uzi for just giving us some time. I think they dropped some gems. Please stay connected with them. I don't know, you guys got cards, or, you know, you want.
Yeah, I got mad business cards in the car. I'm about to go grab them.
Name and call. Create a QR code, please, with all your information. So stay connected to them. Thank you again. I appreciate you.
Listen up. We have the business case competition where we talked about staying connected. All these gentlemen right here was always engaged. They was always on the grind and had the swag at the same time. As you can see, you can do it all.
Yeah, did the whole time. Yeah,
engaging.
I did the whole
case competition. See how it's done. And I want you to see you on stage next year. So let's go and support those that right now. All right.